The Immortal Hulk is set to battle the dark gods of Olympus. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is an irate review. We're going to be talking about Avengers No Road Home number 5, written by Jim Zub, Mark Waid, Al Ewing, and this is going to be a pretty serious bout. We've got issue number 5, which is the midway point of the series, and the last thing that we saw was Immortal Hulk riding a nightmare steed, going in defense of Nightmare's castle, trying to keep a shard of Nyx's soul away from her son Hypnos. But this looks like it's going to be the battle. Avengers No Road Home number 5 hits the midpoint of this maxi series, this 10-issue story about this ragtag team of Avengers as they try to fight off Nyx, the goddess of darkness. And when we open up issue number 5, we actually see Nyx holding a shard of her lost soul as she's reclaimed it from omnipotent Sidian, the guardian of the halls of all-knowing. Trapping the Avengers, we get the idea that the voiceover is coming from somebody completely different, and with the red coloring, it has to be Scarlet Witch as she explores the various aspects of their situation. Hercules can't break his way through the bubbles, Spectrum is in this magical prison, Vision is breaking down. The only person left is Scarlet Witch, and because she's tied to Nyx, because Nyx used her as a vehicle to try and find this soul shard for her, she has this ability to see her power, though darkness surrounds her elsewhere. So what she does is recruit Monica Rambeau, and they've got an idea or a plan that she's been working on. But elsewhere, in the realm of nightmares, we actually see the Incredible Hulk still on horseback, out there thrashing and slashing at the army of the sleepless, these hypnotized individuals at the command of Hypnos, son of Nyx. We've got Clint Barton and Rocket Raccoon and all this kind of witty banter back and forth until the real Hawkeye shows up, Kate Bishop. And even though she's there and she's sleeping and she's got this Roman helmet on, she's still kicking Clint's ass. And he was about to reach into his back pocket and take the Goliath serum, but Rocket does the deed for him and just shoots her with a laser beam right in the chest, which really calls Clint's theory into question. He thinks that because this is just an army of the sleepless, they're inside some sort of dream world. They can really let loose without hurting anybody. But what if they're not? What if they're actually monsters just slaying everyone in their path? That is something that they're going to have to deal with later if that's the case. Unfortunately, there's another nightmare, another bad dream that's being tracked down, and that's Hypnos by the Immortal Hulk on this nightmare steed, and you can tell his cowardice just from the previous scene where he's running away from the battle trying to evade the Immortal Hulk, until we see this moment where he's claimed the shard of the night that may yet be, but he still has the Hulk on his heels, and he's going to just be decimated by this big green monstrosity. It's just like, I would be running away too, but man, you should be standing up for yourself if you're some sort of dark god. So the plan that's been hatched by Wanda and Spectrum is that she is going to turn into some sort of cerebral, some sort of neural electricity and import herself into Wanda's brain, and by interpreting the synapses and the various bits of information transported between the lobes of her brain, she's going to be able to create these sigils inside space, which is going to alleviate and break apart this spell. And in a really great page by Sean Izaakse where we've got the Scarlet Witch, and she's really the focal point of this, a really great coloring job around it. It's a really strong piece dealing with the magic. They just destroy their prison and the fight is on. But the focus is not on Nyx, because Nyx is far more powerful. The focus is on the children. Hercules is going to take on Misery, Apate and Dolos are going to go up against Spectrum and Vision. Voyager is no longer under Misery's spell of despair, and Misery tries to reach out and saddle Hercules with this sense of self-doubt, but this man has nothing left to lose, just grabs him, smashes him in the abdomen, and it's like it's over in instants. But the real focus for Wanda here when she came up with this strategy wasn't to divide and conquer. The idea was misdirection. She reaches out with her chaos magic, plucks the shard from Nyx's hand, lets it fall to the ground, and goes to capture it herself. Voyager, seeing exactly what needs to happen, makes a portal and sends Wanda to some place that nobody knows about. And while Nyx just wants to destroy Voyager for what she's done, Misery's like, no, we need to know where the shard is gone. She calls on Hypnos. She needs the shard of that night that may yet be. But Hypnos is unfortunately detained. The Immortal Hulk has him in his hands, inside some sort of sleeper hold. Well, and now he's going to go to sleep permanently as the crack of his neck rings out across the land of nightmares and into the consciousness of Nyx herself. And she is furious. She has been merciful up until this point in time, and unfortunately, that time has long since passed as she dusts Hercules and Vision, leaving them in nothing but ash at the ground. What is going to become of those heroes? Are they going to be able to come back? Because Wanda needs that kind of help. She has no one to really rely on, and now she's in some sort of foreign land. She doesn't understand what's going on. Other people, these kind of barbarian-looking folks, are trying to take the shard of Nyx's soul, and they're trying to do all sorts of unspeakable things to her, but somebody comes to her rescue from the Zamoran scum. She's feeling her way because she's still blind, but this person who just defeated every single member of this rogue group now has made their appearance known, and it's Conan the Barbarian. Conan, the Cimmerian, has the strength to carry Wanda and carry out this mission. And that's where we're going to get Conan inside issue number 6 of Avengers No Road Home, and the cover for it looks absolutely amazing. While I am very surprised, even though I shouldn't be, that Conan is going to be making an appearance inside Avengers No Road Home, the appearance is still very well justified. When we're talking about the story, the actual relaying of information, I like the idea that we're not getting as much backstory in this particular issue. It's all about the action. It's all about the war that's happening inside the realm of nightmares. It's all about how Wanda is taking the initiative and coming up with the strategies necessary for them to succeed in the day. It also continues the theme of each individual character inside the Avengers group getting their own particular issue. In issue number 1, we had the assembly of the individual characters. In issue number 2, we had Hawkeye getting the focus. Issue number 3 gave us Rocket Raccoon. Issue number 4 actually gave us Nyx, the Goddess of Night, getting that special background. And this is Wanda. Everything was about from Wanda's perspective. And that is a really interesting play on how these issues are going to work. That way they work as standalones as well as complements to the entire story. Sean Izaakse does a fantastic job on the art, and I mean, when you give him an entire page to work with, he puts together some really stellar scenes. Like that big focus shot of the Immortal Hulk. It's not quite the same style as Paco Medina or quite as menacing and nightmarish as Joe Bennett inside the main Immortal Hulk series, but it's still something that really gives power and darkness to the character. The scene with Wanda, and then this final scene with Conan assisting Wanda, it just really is on point the entire time. The combination of the pencils, inks, and colors really lends itself to the series, and it still maintains a consistency that can be held up against the first 3 issues from Paco Medina without any problems. I think that Avengers No Road Home number 5 is probably one of the best continuous books that Marvel's been putting out, and I think the formula for the Maxi series is really working. But I want to know what you guys think, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books and more.